The city was still asleep when the quiet knock echoed through the penthouse hallway. Ethan Reyes, the CEO known for perfection and control, wasn't expecting anyone at that hour. But something about the sound, soft, trembling, pulled him toward the door. He opened it slowly, expecting a mistake, a staff member, a delivery. Instead, the cold morning air rushed inside, carrying with it the most shocking sight of his life. A baby, a tiny newborn girl wrapped in a faded pink blanket, her cheeks flushed from the chilly dawn. She looked up at him with wide, curious eyes, eyes that struck a place inside him he thought had died years ago. Resting on her chest was a folded note held down by a small, worn pacifier. Ethan's throat tightened as he picked it up with trembling fingers. "You promised to protect us, don't break it." There was no name, no signature, but he knew. Every cell in his body knew. The handwriting, the weight of the words, the eyes of that child. Maya, the only woman he had ever cared for. The woman who vanished 5 years ago without a goodbye. The woman he promised he would protect, and failed. Ethan lifted the baby, feeling her tiny fingers curl into his shirt as if she had always known him. He carried her inside, silently pacing across the living room floor as the city lights slowly flickered awake below his penthouse. Logic said call someone, call the police, call his legal team, but emotion, raw, overwhelming emotion, held him still. A baby had been left at his door. Maya's baby. His chest tightened in a way he hadn't felt in years. She looked just like her. The same innocent eyes, the same soft features, and for the first time, Ethan realized that the past he had tried so desperately to bury was standing, breathing, in his arms. 5 years ago, Maya had entered his world like sunlight bursting through a locked room. She was an intern then, all bright ideas and too loud laughter, chaos in the form of a woman. She challenged him, she made him smile, she made him forget work for the first time in a decade. She had been struggling with her family, her finances, her life, and one night, with tears in her eyes, she whispered something that broke him. "I don't have anyone," and he had said the words he meant with every part of his soul, "I'll protect you." But a week later, she vanished. No explanation, no goodbye, as if she had never existed. Ethan had searched quietly, privately, using every resource he could without drawing attention. But she was gone, completely, and now, a baby with her eyes was sleeping on his chest. His head snapped up when another knock broke the silence. This time it was Daniel, his security chief. "Sir," he said carefully, "the cameras caught someone dropping the baby. A woman, hooded. We couldn't see her face. But her walk, her build, it looks like Maya." Ethan's breath caught. Where did she go? She disappeared into the street. No car, no taxi, almost like she knew how to avoid every camera. That sounded exactly like her. Too smart, too careful, too alone. Ethan's jaw tightened. "Someone forced her into this," he said. "No mother leaves her baby unless she has no choice." He looked down at the little girl in his arms. She blinked up at him, calm, trusting. "She stays with me," he said. The next few days were a whirlwind he never expected. A billionaire CEO who negotiated multi-million deals without blinking was suddenly fumbling with bottles, losing sleep, and learning how to hold a baby without looking terrified. His board believed he was traveling. His staff thought he was in meetings abroad. No one knew except Daniel and Rosa, the experienced nanny he hired quietly. One evening, Rosa watched Ethan cradling the baby, her tiny head resting on his chest. "You are good with her," she said gently. "I don't know what I'm doing," he said. "She cried for an hour because I didn't warm the milk properly." "Babies don't need perfect," she smiled. "They need love, and she feels safe with you." Safe. The word stabbed him. Maya hadn't been safe. That's why she ran. That's why she left her baby. And every day that passed without hearing from her made Ethan feel like he was failing her all over again. 3 nights later, a new note appeared, slipped under his penthouse door with no camera record, no trace. The handwriting was shaky. "They're watching me. I can't come. Please keep her safe. Please. Don't trust anyone. I'm sorry." Ethan sank into a chair, his breath trembling. She was alive. She was desperate. And she trusted him enough to give him her child. His hand clenched the note so tightly it wrinkled. "I'm not losing you again," he whispered. Weeks passed. Ethan searched discreetly, using every private source he had. Leads appeared, faded, appeared again, but nothing real. Meanwhile, Leah, the name written on the bracelet around her wrist, began smiling at him. Laughing at him, falling asleep on his chest. He talked to her in the quiet hours of the night, confessing everything he had never told anyone. "I didn't protect your mom," he whispered once. "But I'll protect you, even if she never comes back." Then, late one evening, Daniel rushed inside with a file that changed everything. "Sir," he said breathlessly, "we found her." Ethan stood slowly, dread and hope twisting inside him. "Is she alive?" "Yes," Daniel said, "but she's been running, really running, and she's in danger." He placed photographs on the table. Maya, thinner, bruised, terrified, hiding behind dumpsters, sleeping in abandoned places, constantly looking over her shoulder. Ethan's hands shook. Who did this to her? Daniel opened the final page. "She crossed someone powerful, someone dangerous. She didn't come to you because she didn't want to drag you in. But she left the baby. She chose him." "Where is she?" Ethan asked. "Warehouse District. Last seen a few hours ago." "Get the car," Ethan said. "And call everyone. Police commissioner, legal team, whoever we need." Daniel hesitated. "Sir," activating that much power, "they wanted to hurt her," Ethan said, voice cold. "They picked the wrong man." The warehouse district was silent, shadows stretching across rusted metal. Inside one building, they found signs of struggle, her broken phone, her jacket, blood smeared on the concrete. Ethan felt his vision blur. But then, from somewhere deep inside the warehouse, came a soft, broken voice. "Help, please." Ethan ran before anyone could stop him. And there she was, Maya, sitting on the floor, bruised, terrified, holding her side in pain. Her eyes widened when she saw him. Ethan," she whispered. He dropped to his knees in front of her. "I'm here," he said, voice breaking. "You trusted me. I'm here now," she sobbed, collapsing against him. "I didn't want Leah in danger. I didn't want them to hurt you. You did the right thing," Ethan whispered. "You protected her. Now I'll protect both of you." She looked up weakly. "Is she okay?" "Is she?" "She's perfect," Ethan said. "She looks like you. She smiles when she hears music. She sleeps on my chest every night." Maya covered her mouth as tears streamed down her cheeks. "I thought I'd never see her again." "You will," he said. "I promise." He lifted her gently, holding her as if she were the most fragile thing in his world. "You're coming home." Maya needed weeks to recover. Ethan stayed by her side every moment. He fed Leah while she rested. He read to them. He sat quietly with her during nightmares. Slowly, her fear melted. Slowly, she began to smile again. One evening, she watched him holding Leah, rocking her to sleep. "You kept your promise," she whispered. Ethan turned, emotion tightening his eyes. "I'll keep it for life." She sat beside him, resting her head against his shoulder. "I don't want to run anymore." "You won't," he said softly. "Not while I'm alive." Leah stirred, reaching out blindly. Both Ethan and Maya leaned forward at the same time, their hands brushing as they touched the baby's tiny fingers. Something settled between them, something warm, something whole. The family they didn't know they needed had finally come together. And Ethan knew, this time, he would never let them go. Sometimes life brings people back not because fate is kind, but because unfinished promises refuse to die. Ethan once failed to protect the girl who trusted him, but life gave him a second chance, one wrapped in a pink blanket, staring at him with eyes full of innocence. And through that child, he rediscovered the woman he once lost. This story reminds us that promises are not just words, they are responsibilities tied to hearts. And when you choose to protect someone, you don't do it for reward. You do it because love, loyalty, and kindness never go to waste. If someone trusts you enough to leave their world in your hands, protect it with everything you are.